Episode 40 arrives like a quiet storm, subtle at first but emotionally devastating by the end. The episode peels back the final layers of restraint, exposing raw truth and the consequences of silence. For viewers who've followed the journey from the beginning, this moment feels like both a culmination and a fracture point, where the weight of past decisions becomes impossible to ignore. At the center of this episode lies a single burning question: how long can someone live with a truth that's never been spoken? Every character is caught in the grip of their own regrets. Whether through stolen glances, hesitant touches, or unspoken apologies, the silence screams louder than any confrontation ever could. The beauty of this episode is how it forces stillness to speak volumes. A character once perceived as loyal begins to unravel. Their allegiance, once firm, now seems like a mask worn too tightly. The tension between personal desire and moral obligation threatens to snap. And when it does, it isn't with rage, but with the heartbreak of someone who's finally exhausted every excuse. It's a quiet surrender, and that's what makes it so powerful. Another character, long in the shadows, finally steps into the light. Not through heroic action, but through vulnerability. They open a door not just physically, but emotionally, and that moment, so subtle, lands with more force than any outburst. It's a reminder that in this story, strength is not measured by dominance but by the courage to be honest. Visually, the episode is stunning. The cinematography leans into symbolism: shattered mirrors, distant footsteps, doors left ajar. Even the lighting seems to echo the mood, moving between warm hues of hope and cold tones of despair. It's not just a backdrop, it's part of the emotional fabric of the narrative. The writing doesn't spoon-feed emotion. Instead, it trusts the audience to feel the depth beneath the words, to read between the lines. The pacing is deliberate, almost haunting. Long pauses between conversations force you to sit with the discomfort, to consider what's not being said as much as what is. When the climax hits, it doesn't rely on spectacle. There's no grand betrayal, no sudden violence, just a slow, devastating realization. The kind of moment that doesn't shatter everything at once, but leaves hairline cracks in every relationship, every belief, every assumption. And those cracks are far more terrifying because they don't scream, they whisper. By the end, you're left staring at the screen, not because of what happened, but because of what it means. The episode doesn't demand your attention, it earns it. Not with shock, but with honesty. Not with noise, but with truth.